Oh, really? That's amazing. Uh-huh. Right. Okay. And so then what did you decide to do then? You're going to pull the roses out? Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. He doesn't want to pull the roses out? Okay. Right. Do you remember I told you about this thing I'm doing called Facebook and a live show? Twice a week? Yep. Yes. Yes. At 2 p.m. Yes. Well, it's 2 now. And while I've been talking to you, I did kind of push the live button. Yes. Yes. So if it's all right with you, I'm actually going to go because I've got quite a few girls that are ready to start doing some sewing for the afternoon. I will send you the link to watch it on YouTube then. I love you too. All right. Okay. No, we really can't discuss that now. No, we'll come back to that. Right. Okay. Yes. Love you too. Okay. Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, that was a classic. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was an absolute classic. But what do? Hey, you just go with it, and that conversation's been going on a while. So, I just kept going, and then the kitchen clock, so I think I was messing with it. I've got a downstairs oven and an upstairs oven. What do you want to call it? A lower and an upper one. And I do love them in this house that we're in. But I think I was messing around. I was trying to be really smart and use the buzzer, the timer, top and bottom. And I've tweaked the actual time clock. And I think I don't know what happened, but it's 10 minutes slow. Okay. So in lockdown, what's 10 minutes between friends? 10 minutes that you realize at 20 to 2 is a lot of time, because that was my 10 minutes to get coffee, powder my nose, go to Facebook, tell them we're going live, do it's called a live stream, and then a software, and then go in there and click it in so that we can go live, and then make sure the lighting's all on, and that I haven't short-circuited anything, because we've lost the internet twice so far today. So if we go down, I will come back. Just, hope. It's a lot of time. And I hadn't eaten lunch. Have you all eaten lunch? I've eaten lunch. With getting the coffee, I've scoffed it really, really quick. So, and in between that, I'm talking to a dear senior friend, and you just keep going and you do everything. And then I've realised you're all here and she's still talking about the roses. So, yeah, that was really funny. Good afternoon, everybody. And I hope we're all well. It's Thursday already. What's with that? Kate, you're here. Great. Michelle, very happy. Yvonne, Carol got your email. Sharon, have you run out of chocolate yet? Do they do click and collect at the Lindt Chocolate Factory outlet? I hope so. Hello, Rhonda. Hello in Berwick. Caroline's here. Flick, we're going to have a bit of a play with one of Felicity's little things later on. And yeah, Cindy, it finally reached you. This is lockdown. I really can't imagine in Yeovil that, I suppose it makes a difference, doesn't it? You'd be at home most of the time sewing though, wouldn't you, at the moment? But yeah, welcome to lockdown with the rest of us. Flanks Flick, that was not Mum on the phone, but Mum will watch it on YouTube later on. Because she doesn't Facebook, but she's into the whole YouTube thing. She watches Natasha and I back to back now some days. It's very funny. Joan's here. Yeah, funny. Mug's here. Anne's here. Oh, now Donna. Oh, Donna, 2 parcels going out to you. Yeah, I'm kind of warm and cozy. I'll tell you at the moment, we've switched rooms. I'm actually in a different room today. And this one, I swear, runs 5 degrees cooler than the other one, which is kind of fine. Jenny, and it is Juliana. Thank you. I've got it. Thank you. And Chris, everyone's here. Oh, Sharon, did you make the spring rolls? Denise. Wendy, are you a new watcher? I need to know because I feel bad if you are. Well, no, I'm welcome if you are. I feel really bad if I haven't seen you before. Deb's in the building. Lovely. Christine, Bernadette, Karen. Listen, I need to say something first of all. Parcels going out. Australia Post. I feel like we're doing our daily COVID press release update now. Parcels going out. So 2 things are happening at the moment which are going to annoy you because when you've got lockdown going on, you just want the postie to arrive at the door with a parcel with something yummy in it. And I totally understand that. What we're finding is parcels are taking now a long time to get to Queensland. So I checked in with my guys at Parkdale this morning. It's a little bit like our lockdown here in Melbourne last year. When people are home, they buy online and there's more stuff going around, or they're sending stuff across back and forth to family, interstate, round the corner, whatever, because they can't go out. With that, there's a massive increase in the amount of parcels that are going around, domestic parcels. And so in Victoria, like last year, all our parcels were getting picked up and taken to South Australia or to Sydney to sort, to redistribute. So sometimes something would be going from me just down to Mentone, which is 5 kilometres away, but it would go via Sydney or Adelaide first, because they just didn't have the capacity to deal with them here. We're seeing the same thing is starting to happen a little bit now with New South Wales, and also because of restrictions on how many people you can safely have in a distribution centre, all of that. So parcels are taking a long time to get into Canberra, northern New South Wales, Queensland, because it's going through, or to different distribution centres on the way. So I'm really, really sorry. So there's a lot of mail out there that hasn't got where it needs to go yet. I know some of our applique girls in Queensland are still waiting, and they're getting really miffed because they're seeing some of the girls have actually finished their blocks and they're still waiting for theirs to arrive. So it's taking up to 10 days. Mind you, some of you finished your blocks off in, it felt like 10 minutes, but that's what's happening. And also on top of that, we decided this week to switch over to an official Australia Post account. I think I mentioned it Tuesday, which is all very, very exciting and professional. But like anything, when you do something new and big, there can be hiccups, there can be training, okay, maybe operator error issues with maybe me, and Steve, as I mentioned, hasn't been that well this week, so he hasn't been over here giving me a hand, and that's not his fault. I can ring him anytime. So there is a little bit of a backlog of getting your parcels out. So if you check your accounts, and I had charged your card yesterday or Tuesday, it may not have left the building yet, but straight after this show, there is 30 parcels sitting at my front door. Not everyone's has run through the new system. We've run out our old Australia Post, well, not the original ones that come all printed. They're at the door. I'm doing them straight after the show. And then you will see, the people who's got that system, you will see coming through, you'll get tracking, you'll get alerts, you'll get all this cool stuff. It just means at the moment it's taking longer to get the parcels, to get them registered. I just don't dump them at the post office. I actually register them all, or we do on site. So I do apologise if there's been a couple of days. Christine, what do you mean you can't stay? Oh, a 2-year-old. Well, yeah, that's understandable. Totally get that. My mate Karen Stiles went off to Sydney with an imminent caesarean due for her daughter, and then baby changed her mind, so now she's indefinitely in Sydney, waiting. But I see she's also sewing. I feel like asking her if lockdown in Sydney is any different to lockdown in Melbourne. Just a change in Uber Eats deliveries, I suppose. Different Coles to click and collect from. Good afternoon, Judith. Good to see you. Rosemary Brooks, if you're online, saw your mention about the volume. I've got my volume at absolute max with the system I'm running at the moment. Next on my shopping list is a Bluetooth mic, but I've got it as high as I can go at the moment. So please check you have got your volumes on your devices and everything as high as you can go. That's what I need to know, that they are absolutely as full on as they could be. Please change the battery pack. Can you hold on 2 ticks to me, girls? One of my cameras is playing up, and I've just got to check, and it's all plugged in properly. Goodness me. Oh, it's not going to play. Oh no! That's the one I really want today. Well, that's annoying. We're going to have to go with the overhead shot instead. I don't know that I can, hang on a minute. Let me just see if it's back. I don't think it's back. That's just, no. So what's happened is, I'm just going to have a little play here. What's happened is that we changed rooms, and with that comes changing everything else. So where the cameras are, Rob was up till 11 last night. Oh, I had it then, and then it disappeared again. Hang on. Rob was up till, hang on. Am I standing on something? Oh, it might be what I'm standing on. Who knows? Rob was up putting lights on in the ceiling until like last night. One of our new lights came in. Let's try that again. No. One of our new lights came in. It's up. And yeah, it's really, really good. But it competes with the other ones. So until I can turn it on and show you. Until I get oh, it's not too bad. I get a bit shadowy. Story of my life. Until I get the new side ones as well, then they all compete. So once I've got those as well, it's better. All right, I'm going to crack on without this camera. If Rob watches online, he's going to be so miffed that doesn't work. What's it plugged in? It's all, everything else is still working. I shouldn't jinx myself, should I? Hang on, I just want to try one thing while I'm talking to you. Just one thing. I want to call that out. Yeah. I think it is kaput. And you know, this, at least I know now, hey? Oh, did you see it? Oh, I got it. It's got a dodgy connection. Right, happy now. Okay, live show today. Live 6. Everything that we had on Tuesday, I feel like I've got to catch up now. Everything we did on Tuesday is under live 6. Please go back and have a look. White power cord. He's messaged me. He's watching. White power cord. I know, Robbie. I know. Everything from live 6 is there. Things from live 5 are still there as well. I had a look today. We've pretty much got all of them too. I'm still going to honour those specials from live 5. So if you want to have a look back at last week's as well, you can do that also. And there's a little message here from Cass. Cass is in the building. So Cass is also going to put a link up for you, because I love her lots long time, with our email address. Now the reason I'm telling you that is because we're still on this whole changeover to new website, to new equipment, to everything. I'm barely keeping up, and I with getting everything up online on the old site for you. Steve's got it all on the new one ready, but it's the old one that takes time. Robbie is still texting me to check the power cord. Unbelievable. It's good. We're all good. So yeah, so we're just still catching everything up. Sorry, hang on to it's just, let's try that. I've just pushed it in a little bit more. Whoa. Okay, don't. That is really dodgy, Rob. You're gonna have to think that through. That is really dodgy. We've got it connected with 3 cable ties to hold it in place, and it's still not behaving. Yeah, so Cass is going to put up my email address because everything I want to show you today, I just haven't all got it on the website for you. So there is some things I'm going to say, email me. I'm doing orders tomorrow, so Lisa King's not going to have a heart attack. I will do them all. Donna lent her friend my Apple TV device to a friend to cast a show onto their TV, and it took hours to get it connected. This is true. And, hey, Natasha. And, you can't beat a good cable tie, can you? But you know, you get to that point where you feel like cable ties are the only way out, and I actually want to attach a light to the back of the TV screen that I look at this morning going, cable ties, cable ties, cable ties. I don't need a cable tie. I just grabbed one of the leftover bits of that silk sari ribbon from the specials we had last week. Did the trick. It was fine. But yeah, cable ties are our friends, absolutely. Live 6 is the go. Community announcement. I promised to put this up on the website in free downloads for everyone that got our Kids Quilt Starter Pack. It is on the new one, but as a community service, Philip Chandler puts things on the old website. We do not have the IT savvy skill to do that on the old archaic website, which you all love and use all the time. But free downloads are a little bit of a challenge. He goes in and does all this cool stuff I don't understand, and formulas and coding and things. He's on night shift. I think he's missed the email because I just checked it's not there. When he gets to work tonight, I will text him, which will be about 10 p.m. his time. He works for Venture IP, which are a 24-hour amazing website hosting company who we are hosted through, and he's very, very savvy, cool IT man, and he will go, oh, I missed what Mum asked me to do. So I will get him to do that tonight. So if I did miss putting that in your pack that's got your little starters on making some cool little blocks like we did on the show, I'm very, so sorry. That will go up tonight for you. Fiona has may or may not have bought a new sewing machine, but Fiona, if you are watching, I will scroll through and have a look later. Hello, Robin, Karen and Maureen. Fiona asked me if she could have the fabric for this kit. Yes, you can. So if you start to see all of our new bag furniture go up on the website and you want us to add in the fabric to go with it, because the bag furniture comes with the pattern, and you want the fabric, you only have to ask. There will be a lot of separate kits put up in the kit section, again on the new website. I still sound like a COVID press release conference, don't I? It will be on the website. But yes, you can. And Fiona, if you're watching, I will organise that with your other things ready with your new toy, which is now being having its complimentary service, ready to go. Applique sampler girls, I'm very, very sorry because I don't have Kate at the moment. She did manage to get out to her outdoor activity, or whatever they do now at uni to get a degree, which involves camping, hiking and all sorts of different things. I needed to find a new way to do my demos for you and edit them. But what we're actually doing, Cass and I are doing it tomorrow, we're setting up a link to a private, Cass will correct me or not, it's either a private separate bit on Podia, or it's a private Facebook, I think it's Facebook we're doing. Anyway, that will be done for you tomorrow. So I'll kind of do it as a live, and then she will upload it as a video for you. So I promise that is coming, and we will go back and cover off everything that you've got in this month's pack as well tomorrow. That's it. Let's get going. Now, if you have a look under live, 6. So Rob, I've got to be careful not to throw anything near that camera. Rob put up some things that I didn't talk about on Tuesday, but some of you found them. And they are Mum's Beautiful Remnants packs. So you should see the state of this place. I hope I don't have to get out in a hurry. I hope the FedEx man doesn't come to the door. Trying to get everything right. I need what do I need? Something like a tall, you know, like the hairdressers had the trolley that I can wheel in, that's got shelves and things on it to put everything on, that I don't want you to see on camera all the time, but it's that, never mind. Natasha has managed to create the skill of bending down and picking up and grabbing things with grace and dignity. I have not got that skill going on yet, nor the skill to drink my coffee while I'm. Now, these remnants packs, so people come to the door and go, we're here for the remnants packs. And that's really lovely, but we don't purposely cut fabric to go in remnants packs, so when they happen, they happen. And of course with lockdown, you can't come and get them anyway. We do have people ring and go, I need some remnants packs, and they love them because it gets your brain going. It makes you think about what you can make with them. It makes you a little designer, and you create your own little rules about, oh, I'm allowed to add one more fabric or not. So what I did, I've split them up. We're going to risk this camera. We are going to risk camera 2. We're going to do it. Or is it 3? It's 3. We're going to risk it. We'll risk it for a biscuit. Let's go. So what I did, and you'll see them, I've split them up into 2 groups, and I have called one group Summer Autumn, and I have called one group Spring Winter. Now, I've been through and checked all of the weights. They are pretty much all the same, give or take about 20 centimetres. I think Mum might have weighed them as she went. Hello, Petra. You're in the building. Good to see you. Yeah, Petra says hire a 5-year-old. They know everything. They think they know everything, Petra. They think they do. But actually, I would hire a 5-year-old, but I've got a 19-year-old and a 24-year-old that actually, and there's something 60 maybe-ish old, and they do know everything, so I wouldn't dare hire a 5-year-old. Who said they're late? Who's late? Oh, Nan, that's okay. Don't worry about it. So all of these packs pretty much got the same in them. So you can see these are ones that I have called, right? These are going to be your autumn, summer ones. So they've got greens and reds, because you know how great Mum is with colours. You're going to get some under the Australian sun. You're going to get some batiks. You might get a nice big handy bit of black solid. These are $9 each. I've probably got about 20 of each. Mum has had a lovely time, and just when we knew we were going into lockdown, Dad and her kind of did the mercy dash down, because she wanted us to have them, you and I, everyone, to have them to keep us sane during lockdown. This is your spring winter packs, so you're actually going to get either pinks, teals, purples, or you're going to get kind of blues. Oh, I like that one. So Val, if you would like some, you're going to need to pop onto the website for me. I'll get Cass to put the link in again. If you go to the website and you pop in Life 6 on the top, ignore that gum leaf bit. That was Tuesday. I'll come back to that in a minute. Live 6, don't leave a gap. Straight Live 6 in there. You will find everything that you can order. Okay. Same with you, Chris Otto. Please go and order them on the website, because I do have to get Lisa to do the website orders tomorrow. I'm actually going to go do the email ones for the things that are not on the website. And I'm going to come back to order load at the moment with COVID and stuff, girls, and a tick, because it's just, yeah. It's busy. Absolutely. Even Emma was so good yesterday. She managed to wheedle her way out of her job. She's a school administrator, so she had to be at work. And she rang me at, 1:30 and said, I can come to work. And I said, get down there now. Get down there now. I need you to go. So, and we were still at it. They were still at it late in the day, and I was in there at 6 o'clock this morning. So please, order on the website to guarantee it's going to go. out to you this weekend. Now, thanks, Cass. You're a legend. All right, so that's what you're going to get. If you ordered 2, which a couple of you did, I've mixed it up for you. I've given you a winter and a spring, all right? But this is literally grown-up Lucky Dip. All I can guarantee you is they're all gorgeous, and at $9, they are all an absolute bargain. Seriously, they've all got at least a metre of fabric in them. But they're the end of our bolts, they're end of cutting samples, they're the end of charm packs, all of that, and we save it all up. And then Mum has a lovely time doing them, because as you know, Mum doesn't sew, but her colour sense is just awesome. Anyway, so they are on the website now. As I said, I think we've got probably about 10-15 of each there, but please order with confidence. I don't know how many Rob's put up that we've got, probably a lot. Please order with confidence, because I've got another big 2 tubs ready to send to Mum. Actually, because of lockdown, I'm going to send them out TNT to her tomorrow. She will get them Monday, and so they'll be done, you know, and then they'll come back. So they'll be back about Wednesday next week. So if you order some and they don't come out straight away, I will do them as a back order for you. That's absolutely fine. Where on earth am I going to put these? I'll put them down here. All right. Now, what else did I have to say? There's so much going on. Oh, Polyfuse. So I'll touch on this again today in a minute. Is that right? Where did I put the bits? Oh yeah, they're here. Polyfuse, this is also under Live 6. So if you missed Tuesday's show, this is your adhesive wash away paper stabilizer that you can use to pre-shape pieces for applique and leave it in. I was telling Natasha about this yesterday, and she was going, what? And I said, oh, I know. And as she would say, we all need to have this in our lives. This is a part of our life now. And it's fantastic. So I'm actually sending some off to her as well from Australia. But anyway, this is what I'm going to show you. So it comes in a pack. It's under Live 6, and I'll come back to that in a minute. But in case you saw it the other day and you went, oh, I forgot, or you want to stick it in your cart, that's fine. As you know, on Tuesday, just before we went live in the pouring rain. Hey, Bob Clifford. Oh, Michelle's here too. Maureen. Oh, Callum Kelber's here. Do you know, this is just so lovely, isn't it? What a great way to spend the afternoon. We were waiting Tuesday afternoon in the pouring rain for the new stock of our pink and teal under the Australian sun scarves to arrive. And I thought I was going to have to dash off and leave you and get drowned like a rat when the truck rocked up. But lo and behold, despite my best efforts to get it redirected to the house for the week before, it was late, it went to the warehouse, which was kind of great at the time, wasn't it? Because it was literally 5 to 2. So these have arrived. Now, these are the same as the ones we had last time. We've been out of stock for quite a while. I have put them out under Live 6 and marked them down for you for this week, but that won't stay. That's going back up. So I didn't wear one today because it would clash. But I want to show you, actually, I'll take this one off, how big they are. Oh, this is just a nice tune. This is like buying a pack of chewing gum at the checkout at the supermarket. We call this an impulse buy at the checkout. Point of sale impulse buy. There you go. A little marketing splurge from my food days. You can do that. They're big, but they're really nice and light, so you can also wrap them around your neck. And the other thing, it's not very good with this top I've got on because it's grabbing. You can do, wait for it. What am I doing here at the back? You can do this. So, come spring, whack your white t-shirt on, or in summer, may I say, your bathers, and you go this way. So you can actually, it's big enough to wrap. I'm guilty of doing this a fair bit in summer with a camisole or a white t-shirt or a pink t-shirt underneath. So you can do that as well. It goes anywhere. You can sarong it as well. And I do have plans later in the year on a Saturday to have the gorgeous Kate Mara in to do one of her demo classes. She's got a great pattern that she has published and brought out. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it or done her workshop so far, where you do a basic t-shirt top and you use your scarf to bring in a sash that comes from here and drapes very flattering style over our tum-tums down to here. We have the B64 Burnett overlockers coming back into stock in September, plus the be-all, the end-all, the spaceship NASA space station style Bernina overlocker arriving as well in August. So I want to put all that together. I know we're patchworkers, but some of us are also clothing people, and if I said to you, take a high-end Bernina, digital thread, tension, automatic threading, all of that, and turn it into an overlocker, this is what I'm talking about. So we will come back and do some work. But in the meantime, we can just wear them as a scarf. So yes, and I think we need to make a couple of little jackets, kimono-y style jackets with one or two of those as well. So, you know, we've got some. Black and red ones, so now these are in. I'll fill my wholesale orders for gift shops around Australia that we do, and then I can go back and order my next lot, so we'll have the black and red back in too, probably by the end of August for you. So that's those. Now the other new fabrics that I've popped on the website are this one. So there's just a few new tonals. I've got some drop dead gorgeous things that arrived today. I'm not going to share, which is rude because they're not up yet. There's no point in me showing you and then you're going, but I will show them to you Tuesday because I'd like to do a couple of things with them. So this is, I did turn the iron off today so I don't burn myself again. Look at that. This is really, really yummy, and in fact a really nice darker teal to go with Under the Australian Sun in the pink and teal. When I think about it, haven't thought about it, but there you go. Just a really nice textural fabric. Yes, of course I have plans to add that in with some cork, with some cotton drill for a few little bags. Got the zips coming that match, but also think about this as bias, okay, for stems, for applique. When you cut that on the bias, you're going to get an amazing movement through there. It will be really, really nice to work with. So that's the dark one. Now there's a light one up as well, which is this one. Okay, so if you are a teal nut, you're going to need to have these in your stash. They're beautiful, and there is metallic gold in there. There's just a little bit, very, very fine metallic gold, to the point where if you had a fabric that had silver through it as well, like Melba. Oh, where's the bottom Melba? Here's the bottom Melba. I don't usually mix my metallics, but I think you could get away with it because there's such fine lines, particularly if you're doing one of your scrappy quilts. Sharon Keys, who's into scrappy quilts and cleaning up that stash at the moment, I think you could get away with it. Oh, yum. Okay, so there's those two up. There's a really, really nice red dot that Emma and Lisa were eyeing off yesterday afternoon. So you're going, how come she, why is it up on the website without the wrapper? But she's just taking the wrapper off now. So when we put the photos up on the website, we pull down an image from the manufacturer's website so that we know it is the highest resolution and quality that we can show you whenever we can, and the right representation of the colour. And we will often do that before the fabric arrives. I know, but you know, if I know it's coming, if I've got the paperwork from Japan or America, then we have it up there ready to go. So the second it lands, we can put it live on the website. That is really scrummy, and it's doing my just my head in a bit. Where are my glasses? Oh, my glasses are sitting under the sewing machine. Oh, there's another trip back to Morty Alec Optical. Right. Oh no, I didn't unshape them too much. There you go. There's so what they've done, it's red. Then they've put a white dot down, but then they've put the metallic over the top. So it's really, really cool because you've just got the slightest little bit of a white, you can't see it, I know, but it's there, of a white rim around the dots. That's just begging for Christmas. That's a Christmas, get ready for Christmas right now. Well, Sharon, you made a bag this morning. You'll have to make another bag next week. You just will. There you go. So that's that one. I'm going to leave it up because the other one that Rob put up is, I'm getting to the dragonflies. You've all seen it. I'm getting to the dragonflies. This is, now we have quilters linen in a few colours already. We've got the grey with the silver and we've got the red, but considering a few things that are on my bucket list at the moment, we had to get in the green. And it is a beautiful green, just stunning. I love it. And it's got a lot more tonal work in it than the, well, it shows more predominantly in this one and in the grey and silver one that we've got, and the red one. So this, just yum. You've got little dark green crosses and you've also got gold. So they're all up in the website. No, they're not on special. I'm sorry, they're not. They're normal price. But you are getting to see them first and before anyone else does. And then they'll go on the new website. I don't even think they'll get mentioned in the newsletter. So you get first dips on those, and then Steve will come through. He will stock take and he will go yes or no to the new website based on how much there is. So you kind of got to grab it. Or it will just stay... It'll stay in the website, in the shop for people that come in, but it won't go online again. Does that make sense? Well, it does. I don't know if it does to me, but it makes sense to him. So I'm holding this between my legs for a reason. I'll put these down. We're going to use one of those teals in a minute. Now the other yum is on the website. You know how they just sometimes come in and you go, oh, yes, hello, there you go. Dragonflies. Also going to give you a little bit of inspiration for this in a minute. So it's a classic, you know, it's Timeless Treasures. They do it so well, so well. It's going to go with so much, and I've not resurrected, that's not the right term. I've put under Live 6, I'm put back online, a beautiful little pattern just for a cute little patchwork bag that we had that was called, it was an imperial handbag. And we had it for a long time, and we messed with it, and we had one version which is on the front of the pattern that's got an appliqued dragonfly. I have to remake the bag. I've got Cass that's going to reformat it for me. She's pulled the dragonfly off it so that I can send out, it's over there on the printer, I'll get it in a minute. We can send out a little diagram to do a little appliqued dragonfly for you. I'm going to show you if you want to do your own thing in the meantime. You can wait for us to do it as a kit, or you can order some, totally up to you, but it's just... A lot of you are going to have in your stash ombres and multicoloured batiks from earlier this year. Yeah, it would have been this year or late last year, that are going to go with this. I've got one I've used today and it will go, that I stashed. So yeah, so that one's up as well. So if you love your purple and you love your dragonflies, please grab some. I think that's it. Now, the other community announcement is Yep, I had it here. I had it here. Where'd it go? I don't know. All right, I'll tell you anyway. I said that I would have the black and green version of this finished today. When I woke up on Wednesday morning yesterday, the load of orders for this one and also for the black and green one were very impressive on our website. So I had to prioritize all of us getting orders done and getting all the paperwork done and everything to finish off that pattern for this version yesterday, or sit down and make the bag. So because we're going to keep that pattern going for quite a while and it will go on the new website and we are going to have it, I actually set aside that project and I will get it finished and get it done. And if you didn't see it, there's a whole pile of stuff here somewhere. I'm sure it came in, never mind. This is the other version here. So it will come through with the black and green here. You've got green for the applique along with the batik. And then we're putting the black Melba fans in the lining, and the background for the panel is black. So it's really stunning. We started playing with it on Tuesday's show, which you can go back and watch. It's still there. But I haven't finished it. And on Live 6, to order this kit, it's got a picture of this bag and it's got these fabrics draped over it. It will get replaced eventually with the picture for this, but somewhere I had to things had to give a bit and I had to get a bit organized. And the other thing that happened as well, if you ordered our woven tote, hang on a minute, I've got to go and get it. It's sitting over here. Right, get it. Oh, they fell down the side. Here they are. Got it. Thank goodness the cat's not up here today. If you ordered this kit, it's on the way. If you ordered the person this, it's either on the way or you're waiting for the 100 new frames to arrive to do your purse kit. If you order the lanyard, you've got it coming. See, I had stuff ready to show you. If you've ordered it in this, again, I promised I would have the bag made up. We've now oversold this version of the kit in these colours, which is also in a picture on the website. So the priority for me to finish the bag kind of drops a bit compared to filling the orders. I will finish one front panel so that I can send it to everyone that's ordered the teal colours. But again, I'm sorry, it's not done because it was more a priority to get ready and get the orders out than finish the bag off because I can't do any more. That's the story. Now, so that's the project that we talked about on Tuesday. And I did talk about doing these little flowers and I've got that ready to show you. I'm getting a bit nervous. I'm going to have to do some sewing in a minute. That's a bit scary. Okay, I think that's it. Now, let me show you this. If you missed Tuesday, you're going back, that is what I did with the polyfuse. So we've shaped our leaves very easily with the polyfuse and a glue stick, like that, ready to blanket stitch on, to slip stitch on, whatever you wish to do. So the ones that I want to show you today, just a couple of ideas for you, are based on today's pattern, kit release. We will do a pattern eventually. I just want to get the kit out first. Hey, have you noticed, if you've ordered things, have you noticed that your patterns are actually coming, looking a bit different? They don't always come with a cover now, with the instructions inside. That's because on the new website, you'll be able to order as a free download, sorry, not a free, well, there's free downloads, a paid download, or have it sent to you in the mail. So it will come in two different ways. But at the moment, we're setting up all of the paid download pattern formats, and they're the ones that we're popping in your packs because they're just quicker for us to get out. So, and that sort of makes us do them as we go. So this is the bag that we are launching the kit for, and we will have the pattern up as well, won't we, Cass? I'm sure we will, in the next couple of days on the website as well. It'll come through in the newsletter. When it's in the newsletter, you'll know about it. But if you really, really want to wait, if you're happy to wait, you know, like you've got plenty of other things on, wait for the new website, because you'll be able to do it, literally pay for your pattern, push print, and it will spit out of your printer and you can just go. You know, it'll just be so cool because you can look at them and go, oh, I need that much fabric. Okay, yeah, I've got that here. I've got that in my stash. Pay for it, print it, and you're off. And it is a little bit less expensive to buy a printed one, one that you print out yourselves, than having it delivered in the mail, as well as the postage. So if you can persevere, and as Petra said, hire a 5-year-old to help if needed, it'll be worth it. All right, this is the panel pocket tote. It was originally designed to take my Dutch cottage panels. No, I can't get in the cupboard to show you. So it was just one of those things. I think the bag was designed before I finished designing the panels, but it was worked that you cut panel for here, you cut a panel for the back pocket, then you cut down little ones in it as well for these, and then you cut down a border stripe bit for this. I'm going to go back and do that Dutch cottage range, so we'll go back there. But Emma very, very cleverly took Melba and fussy cut Melba beautifully to go in this bag. She's tweaked the instructions for us so we know what we're doing with Melba, and that's lovely. And I'm going to show you the start of fussy cutting out this with the other color combinations we're going to do, and that's one of those references to emailing me. This one is up on the website, so you can order this one straight away in this color combination, but I'll go through the other ones with you in a minute. Now this flap here gives you so much opportunity to really get creative during your little lockdown period, if you are in one. Most of us are, aren't we? WA's not. If Ruthie's watching from WA, she'll be doing a little dance at the moment. Ah, oh, hello Meg. I'm feeling a reunion coming on big time. There's going to be a big Chandler's Cottage Girl reunion, I tell you. Yeah, so I want to talk about some things that you can have a play with while you're at home, besides doing it like this. So this flat finished is 9 inches. So we've got 9 inches to play with. So what I want to show you, well, first of all, if you have had a look way back at, this is going to look really bad. I'll have to find another bit of fabric. If you remember way back, go back to YouTube, to the Lisa Chandler channel. Cass, would you kindly put that link in for me? That would be awesome, because I think we've got some new girls, ladies watching today. We did 3D flowers, and I did the big mega purple bag. I think it's on the leftover show that follows, with big purple flowers. It was all about learning how to do 3D techniques. I got the bejeweler out. Don't you say anything, Lancaster. Not a word. Not a word about me and the bejeweler. But yes, I need to talk to you about garlic, Meg, too. Just as a sideline. Alright. I'll set them on here for you. Actually, let's pop them, let's just sit them here over the bag for argument's sake. So go back and have a look. So just as an idea, if you've got a stack of, like a beautiful feature fabric with lots of floral on it, that you can cut down, fussy cut some different bits for your pockets, and then go to town on your flat with lots of lovely 3D flowers. So there's a YouTube show on Lisa Chandler that shows you how to make 3Ds. There's also one that shows you how to ruche. There's also one that shows you how to do pre-shape stuff, clamshells, all of that. So a bag like this is a great opportunity to try out some new techniques without it being a massive commitment to a huge quilt. So it's just the right time at the moment, with not being able to do a lot, with it being winter weather, and getting into our sewing rooms and having some fun. So please, that looks dreadful against the orange, but I'm sure you get what I'm talking about. So that I just grabbed those. They were the ones that were inside the bag that hadn't been sewn on, that was on YouTube. So I grabbed those. Now, one of the other things I did, Oh, yeah, so remember we did this last week with the sari silks. We did this. We weaved. So why not, if you got some, I think they're under live 5. Oh, yes. They're under live 5, I think, sari silk. If you put in Skein, Skein, it will bring them up. I think I had a lot, there's about 5 or 6 of them left. Do this on your flap and on your side pockets. Please do. Please do. That would just really, really stand out and look so funky. You know, and if you've got these here and I haven't got any fabric to go with it, if you've got black, take the rest of your sari silks and just stitch them on. Just stitch them on and create your own fabric. All right, so that's another idea. Now, while we've got the overhead, I started playing with my leftover skein of sari silks this morning. Now, admittedly, you know who, the 4-legged fluff ball, has got into the leftover of my sari silks, and we probably could have all made a lot of money on sports bet with that fact, wouldn't we? The second it hit the floor, it was fun park time, absolutely. But I wanted to start having. Oh, is that? Oh, Sharon, that's good to hear. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to start playing and doing some foundation piecing with my leftover sari silks. So, yeah, I'm reaching down very unglamorously, but you can't see me, so that's okay. So this is what was left when Junie got to it. Yeah, it was so neat and tidy. No animal was hurt in that process of cleaning up. I promise. So this is, anyway, you'll see on the website, you get a beautiful tight skein of sari silk remnants that have all been sewn together. So you can cut it down. You can even knit it into a scarf. So I cut out some of the colours that really appealed to me that would go with that gorgeous teal. Now, I didn't get my maths right, obviously. I just got carried away and did the purple and pink down one end. But, you know, you'll get it right. Do as I say, not as I do. Cut as many as you would like. But I'm slowly building up a piece that I'm going to be able to trim down to become my flap. And what I did, where's that bit down here? There was no rhyme or reason to it. All I made sure was that I was very generous in my piecing sizes. So I cut one piece ready to use for the back. I only need 9.5, but this is much bigger. I think it's about 12.5. And all I did, if you've got old issues, old issues, well, I've got old issues, but I mean issues of magazines, Quilter's Companion, I did something called, what's it called, Flick. It was the Facebook image on the St. Helens Guild Facebook page for ages. Lilies on the Pond. All I did was just got my fabric, this is doubled over, and I dovetail cut. So I cut a wedge that way. This is a great way. We've done this, haven't we? I'm sure we've done this. My goodness, if we haven't done this on YouTube, I have been slack. I'm sure we did it in a show. I'm sure we did. This is all about creating your own backgrounds. I'm sure we did. Oh my goodness, if we didn't, I have to check because this is such much fun. Okay, so you start to do this, and then this is the way that they are going to go back together. But we're going to insert something, anything, in between our rows, like this. So I grabbed my sari silks like this. I ironed them out so they're nice and flat, and then I folded them in half just like we do our pin tucks and everything. So these were out nice and flat. I have got the iron here, girls, but I think I think you'll get the gist of this without me actually doing it. So if you get them in half like that, sit them down on one end, on one edge of your wedges. You're going to put that together, you're going to sew down, and you're going to open it up, and you're going to end up with a pin tuck of that in there. Okay? Then I realized the best thing to actually do was to lay it down on some stabilizer so it would all sit together really nicely, because these are all cut on the bias, so there's a lot of give, and this one here is way too skinny to take it off. So I've popped that one down. Ignore that's there. We are going to put another one on top and sew that down, and when I fold that back, oh, wrong way around, short, you got to dovetail it, so big, small, wide, narrow, wide, narrow, wide. Okay, that's going to go on there, sew it on and push that back like that. Okay, and then I would bring the next one through, pop that on top, go back the other way, so wide at the top, sew that on and then fold that back. So you're just slowly building up a funky little angled pin tuck panel for the top. Then once that's done and you put your batting underneath it, a thin pellin is what I would use, then you can have even more fun with it, because if you know what we do with our pin tuck bags and with our pin tuck Christmas tree, you can start, I'm going to pin these to show you, you can start playing. We're going to pin this one up here. Felicity Bonner, see, I've just got the secretary going everywhere. She hasn't even confirmed it's in the Quilter's Companion. She's given you the number, the volume, the page it's click, the page it's on. There you go. We'll come back and do it, hey? Let's do it on a live show. We'll do it on a live show. I don't care if it's been on Facebook. We'll do it again, and we'll do it in a different colorway. Just so funny. See what I'm doing here? I'm just pinning them all up. Screw that one there. And then to hold these in place, you've got a few options. If you've got some lovely little beads, gold beads would be great for me because I've got the gold here. If you've got some gold beads, you can just bead this. Pellin underneath with your walking foot, you could actually come through and quilt this way. So I would have them where I want them to go, up or down, and run my quilting stitch, not necessarily straight, run a quilting stitch through here, and that's going to secure them down at the same time. This to me is not perfect. Look, honestly, I would go back and do it again because I've got my colours mixed up. I might want to have my my wedges a little bit wider, a little bit thinner, but the technique is fun. So if I can create myself a really cool bag, I'll just pull that down. Yes, I need to do some more. So I do all this work, then I trim it down to the size I need, okay? Just do all that fun bit first and then come back. But for this to be my bag flap on a really arty fun style of bag, like that, sit that there and give you a really good look at the regrowth of my hair. Oh, hair, lockdown. Oh, no, here we go again. Look, you can't click and collect gold, you can't click and collect bald, blonde foils, can you? What happens with my hairdresser is he's really fair from the day of lockdown. If you're down for 14 days, everyone's appointment gets bumped out 14 days, but of course it doesn't work for everyone, so here we go again. Okay, so Sorry, just a purge on the hair. So that would be my flap. Now, what would I do with the rest of it? Well, I would use this as the main part of my bag. I'll do the same on the back panel and on my pockets with this. And then I would go through my stash and I'd find my purple, my pink. This probably batiks with this because of the style of the shading and everything on the ribbons. I would stick with non-conventional prints. That's just me. That's what I would do. And, you know, hot pink and purple batiks or some ombre would be really nice with it. So just, you know, I thought I want to show you something else to do with those sari silks that we bought. Just, I think I can resurrect some. Yeah. Gotta love her. Just could wear it as a scarf, I suppose. Now, back to our technique for the flowering gum on our eucalyptus bag, on our gum leaf bag. I said on Tuesday we'd have a little bit of a chat about doing the flowers. So I've got ready. Hello, Michelle. Grimble, that is. I've got ready a couple of our gum nuts, and I did grab the ones that we that I had ready to do the gum leaf bag, I will admit, just to save a bit of time. So I've blanket stitched these ever so quickly onto a piece of black, and I've popped some iron-on stabilizer on the back. Now, if you are in need of some iron-on stabilizer, this is different to the Polyfuse. This is we just take this off the roll. This is not something you would leave in your applique. It's a tearaway. So if you do need some, that would be one of those things. As an example, you could pop in an email and we could organize that for you. If you do put something in an email, please put your phone number on it, just in case we don't have your details, or if we do, we can just contact you really quickly. So, and you would say tearaway stabilizer is what you would say if you wanted to do that. Brain's not working. Hang on, I got to think about this. This goes underneath. No, this goes on top. I can't remember in a hurry. There we go. So what I'm going to do to talk to you a little bit about doing some flower heads like the one on our bag is I've popped on some stabilizer because I really want it to stay nice and flat, even though I'm probably going to do a lot of quilting on my, if it was going to be the flat for my bag or not. It does need a bit of stabilizing. This is, you know, no expense spared here, probably a $3 hoop, but it's going to do. Just get it all nice. No, I've done it the wrong way, haven't I? It's still not up the right way. Give me a tick. I've got to go the other way. I was right the first time. Oh, silly me. We need to go this way because we need the, I'm not doing it by hand, I'm doing it by machine. I need it flat on the bed of my machine. There we go. So if you can see those stitches here, first of all, we're going to use one of those. I've used a triple stitch on my machine. And a triple stitch is just going to be great because it's going to give me a thicker flower quicker, and it'll have a little bit more structure to it, sort of a little bit more like a hand back stitch, if you like. I'll just give you a little peeper. There you go. So can you see that there? So I've just roughly blanket stitched around these. I was in a bit of a hurry, I'm sorry, but I would do them a lot neater. But that is a triple stitch on there. So I want to do that first of all to show you, and Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Don't you love that? My little click pen. There we go. He had finished his last one. So on the pattern on the bag, this bag, so these are much smaller, okay, than the ones that are kind of on, are they smaller? They are, just a little bit smaller than the ones on the bag, I think, today. So I've got nice big flower heads on there. So I'm going to just hand draw this on so that I can show you. And you know, you can do that same thing. You can just draw that on. Can you see that? Can you even see that? No. Why is that? Let me draw it deeper. There you go. All right. So one, we're going to do triple stitch. And the other one, I'm going to do freestyle. Now, of course, you could do all of these with stem stitch, with back stitch by hand. We have the time at the moment to do that. And if that is what you are most comfortable with, then please do that. But I did want to show you today how to do it on your machine. And I think I've left off, let's have a look. Yeah, nope, wrong one. I've left off the platform because I just thought you'd be able to see better what I'm doing. So hopefully I can do it without the platform on my machine. There is also no glamorous way to get on and off a stool on a carpet floor live on Facebook in a limited space. So let's talk feet. Let's talk feet. So that was just my standard number 1 foot. Let's pop on, first of all, for our triple stitch, an open toe foot. If you have a Bernina, it's a number 20. Also, I will mention this now as a community announcement. We have a lot of girls that ring up and say, oh, my machine is falling apart. I've got a tiny screw that's come out from somewhere. In the back of all of your feet, there is a screw, and over time with vibration, unless you tighten it up, it will come loose and may let's just leave it out for now, may fall out. And what it is, it's a screw that will hold in place a seam guide rod. They all come with your machines, so you can slide that through and have it actually measure out a certain seam width. Particularly if you're doing long rows of quilting and stuff, fantastic. But aside of that, that screw that I have just pulled out of there is obsolete. So please do not be concerned if you find one. I guarantee that's what it will be. Sometimes, depending on your machine and the size and the depth of your hoop, you may not be able to get it underneath. So you will need to pop your hoop under first and then just pop back on your foot. Okay, now, thread, that'd be handy. I have popped in my bobbin. Look, it was all about working with what I had today. I can't tell you, well, I can tell you while you're there, the challenge of moving the studio home, leaving enough sewing equipment and things at work to also be able to do demos and classes and things at work. Hang on a minute, because I've got this all sitting out further than my machine. I've got you on an angle, and then I've got the hoop under there, and I'm trying to thread the needle. Let's just do that. Trying to do all of that, and then move the studio home, and then move rooms. So all my sewing stuff's next door. It's just been, yeah. Keeps me busy. Keeps me off the streets, even though I have to at the moment. I'm gonna bring that thread. Can I bring you up? Can I bring you up? Maybe I don't need to. It's just been fun. So for me to actually have a red thread here and a matching bobbin thread underneath is just a sheer miracle today. Right, triple stitch. You can go long, you can go short. It's going to be up to you which one you want to go. So your open toe foot is fantastic, okay, because it means you can see where you're going. And if you keep your stitches really nice, someone's trying to ring me, go away, nice and close together, you can literally just go up and down. I know that you can't see, I'll just move this a bit closer. There we go. It's a bit hard, isn't it? But we'll do our best here. So it's I actually find this really relaxing to do because I don't have to think. The only thing I need to think about is stopping in time before I get back up to my gum nut. When I'm down the other end, it's not going to matter. In fact, it's going to look, I see I went too far. It's going to look more realistic if they are uneven. So I didn't watch what stage the stitch was at. Now I'm going to leave a gap in between these. There we go. I'll turn. For now, just so you can see what they look like, but otherwise I would do them much closer together. In terms of threads, also if you'd like to learn a little bit more about what threads to grab, I've done some for girls this week, and we can just talk, you know, I can send you some down or send you some photos. We've got all the beautiful poly sheen in stock. We've got superior threads. There's some variegateds there. As I said on Tuesday, run a good polyester in your bobbin. We use bottom line. If you're going to run an artificial thread like an embroidery thread or a metallic thread on top. Just going to do one more row and then I'm going to take it off and show you. I have done such a botched job of the top because I'm talking to you. Just embarrassing. Okay, back up and then we'll stop. You can see it's quite cool because when it's in the hoop, you just sit and hold this. You're not holding it all here or controlling it. It's quite easy. I think we'll cut that off because I can come back later and do that. Now my foot's coming up. If you're wondering, there's no, on these machines we don't have a lever. The foot automatically goes up and down for us, which is lovely when you've got arthritic wrists, isn't it, Ruthie? Ruthie's got one. Okay, so, oh, and now the sun's coming through. Oh, we're just faced with challenges, aren't we? It would be afternoon sun. There you go, it'll glow in the sun. So you can see they do, you know, you are going to get the effect of a realistic flower. And what I would do with this now, I'll go and shut that curtain. Hang on a minute. What I would do if I sit that there, and you can have a look while I go. What I would do with this to make it really realistic now is do those triple stitches, and then perhaps put a darker thread in. Where's that sun coming from? Oh, there it is. So also in the new room we have different lights and different windows and oh my goodness. Right. So you can, that's better. So you could come through and shade with a different colour. Do it heavily in the red, come back and put some metallic gold through it. So it really, you know, you get a really, really nice effect with it. Our neighbours, we have lovely neighbours. You know where they're lovely? We never know they're there. In the nicest possible way. We say hello in the driveway when we put our bins in and our bins out. Sometimes our neighbours will walk past as we're getting in the car in the morning and it's just a hello. They are lovely. They have a beautiful, you know, just lovely people. I don't know where they originate from, but I do know that English is their second language and they have the most magnificent accent, and I'm into accents and it's lovely. But the front garden's really good, but they do their lawn every 6 weeks, and that's all. Doesn't matter when. And when they do their garden, they do the garden from front to back. And it's full on. There's lawnmowers, there's whippersnippers, the whole lot. It gets done en masse on one day, every 6, to the day. I've timed it every 6. And it was today. So at 1:30, I heard the lawnmower start up, and it's a very busy lawnmower right there. Oh God, no. So I went out and I said to him, would you mind if you did the front first and then the back? Because I've got a live Facebook page. And so he said, yes, live, we're all alive. We all have to stay in lockdown, live COVID Facebook. I went, no, not the COVID live. No, not COVID, not that one. So I said, so in the end I managed to get through to him, and he was so gorgeous. He went, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. So that was all right. Otherwise you would have had lawnmowers, whippersnippers, chainsaws, all the challenges. But I've got smaller windows in this room, which will be good for lighting. Okay, so you've got that. All good. So let's do the other way. The other way we're going to run with, where have I got you? There. No, I keep doing the overhead and I don't need it. Next one, we're going to go darning foot. This is my darning foot. If you're a banana girl, it's a number 9. Now there's quite a few. There's a number 9 that you can, is a straight darning foot. This is the one I use for quilting all the time. There's a number 24, same as this, but it has a little gap at the front. That's really good for doing thread work like we're going to do today. Because again, you can see, you know, you've not obstructed if it really worries you with fine work. There you go, that's better, isn't it? Sorry, Cass will say, put something under it. Maybe that's better. There you go. So number 24 has a little gap, so it's easy to get your threads in and out if you're changing a lot, and you can see really fine work. So there's 2 different ones that you can use if you are a banana girl and you just happen to have a BSR, like Deb. Then again, you can use your BSR to do your thread work as well, if you want to keep all your stitches at a beautiful same length. So darning foot on means feed dogs off, okay? Feed dogs are going off, because I want to be able to move my work wherever I want to, anytime. Now, if my feed dogs are off, I'm going to tell my machine, and I think I've done this right, I'm telling my machine that I'm doing free motion work or that I'm quilting. And this is one of the beautiful features that we have. So I'll put that on before the hoop. So you may need to, depending on your machine, you may need to drop your feed dog, change your tension a little. I don't need to do that with this guy. If I tell it, I've got my number 9 foot on. Yeah, okay, we're good. So he knows that I'm using a number 9 foot. If I was quilting at the same time as doing this, I'm effectively quilting, and then I would tell it that I'm quilting and it would change my thread tension. I'm just going to go up. I'm going to pull my thread up from underneath and get it out of the way. It's just really nice to do that. Now, we are going to do a whole heap of stuff about free motion quilting, the whole lot, okay? But not today. This is the crash course. I probably should talk about workshops as well. So this is really different. You are in control of where your work goes. If you don't move the hoop, it's going to go up and down the same spot because you've turned your feed dogs off. But it is just like drawing. If you can draw it, you can stitch it. Just pretend you are drawing. So this is going to take a lot more work because it's just single line thread work. But with that in mind, you can get a lot more finer detail. I will hold it up for you in a tick. Jeepers, I was out of practice there for a minute, girls. I'm on the roll now. Hang on. There we go. I'm back in the saddle. I don't think I've done this since before my op, so what's that, early June? Right, there we go. Okay, so again, I'll pull it up in a minute. I want to, it's kind of showing off, it's kind of not. I want to show you something else that you can do that I'm just going to do down the bottom here. I'm just doing a teeny weeny little squiggle. And I'll tell you why in a tick. Okay, let's get that done. And then I've missed a little up here. Right. Well, that was fun. Right, here we go. Oh, now I just want to sit and quilt. Okay, let's get this out. So, what camera have I got you on? That one. Here's the other one that I've just done. So you can see it's going to be a lot quicker if you give it a go. And if I get it up really close, there we go. Can you see down here, I've gone along and just done I think my camera can do it. There you go. See that little squiggle down the bottom that I did last? What I'm suggesting is do all of your red as dark as you like and then come through with a yellow or a gold thread. Come back through and put some lines of it down through the red and do a squiggle at the bottom, because you know when you actually look at these flowers in real life, they've all got their beautiful little gold dots on the end. So you can do that with your quilting. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, they take a bit of practice. I'm not going to lie. And I'm going to run through some free motion stuff online. We'll come to that. Cass and I are working that out tomorrow. With some little online classes because of lockdown. So I'll come to that. If you don't want to do that, then do all of your lines. And it's probably one of the better things to try first doing these, because it's just pretty much up and down with just a slight curve on it, not a lot. So please have a go. Grab the hoop out. Even if you don't have a stabilizer, just get some baking paper out of the kitchen. Just do that for me. Pop it on the back. Or some freezer paper. You know, it's not about whether it's going to tear off really well afterwards. I just want you to have something you can stabilize with and try it. But please, please try it while you've got the time. You've got nothing to lose. You can email me if you've got any questions. Honestly, you can. In fact, email. Don't pop it through Facebook. Sometimes I miss things, and some of you know I answer you at 2 o'clock in the morning and I forget I've done it. That is the absolute truth. So pop it in an email, then I can type, because I can type really fast. I'm not that good on the phone. So please do, and then we'll get some of this work going. I think it's really good to try different things while we can. Do you see up the top? I just want to show you this again. See up the top here, I've got a little bit of black missing. Now that was me trying to go really fast so I could get it done to show you, and I haven't taken it all the way up to the green. But that now gives me the opportunity to come back through with a darker or a lighter red and add some shading in. So if you want to really do what some of those amazing threadwork artists do, have a go. Come back and shade. So come back in here and add some lighter ones. And then if you go, oh, I don't know what it's going to look like, we've all got a set of pencils, haven't we? or the grandkids have left them round. And if you don't, you should get online and order yourself a magnificent new set of Derwent pencils. You deserve them. You should have them as one of your quilting tools, and draw it up first. Draw these up first and shade them with a pencil. Sit and do it, because while you're doing it, it's registering in your brain that this is the way we go and this is the way we curve. Because if you can draw it, you can free motion thread work it, and that is what I always say about free motion quilting as well. So sit, draw, even just with a grey lead, different thicknesses of grey lead, see what it's going to look like, and if you think it looks good, then go and do it. If you're not confident, to have a go straight up. But this is the time. We cannot waste this time. We have to build up our skills and make the absolute most of it. Good afternoon, Bev Cameron, who I've just seen online. Right, so that's just another little technique. If you've got the kit coming, that's part of the pattern in there. Please go back and have a look again at different shapes and things on Facebook. Pull a book out and have a look. I'm sure I've done other stuff like that, and we will get that pattern up onto the new one as well. So you can just buy the pattern. That's what we're going to do. Right, last one for your flap is to go with your dragonflies. You know it's going to get to that point in the afternoon and you're all going to go, she's just going to keep sewing, because then she doesn't have to go and do all of our mail orders on the new Australia Post business account. I do want to learn. I'm very excited about learning the new one. Right, one of the things, if you would like some, that is not on the, oh, well that's not very good. You can't tell that that's, can you see that's navy blue? One of the things that is not on the website, if you would like some, is this magnificent, beautiful solid blue. Now we got in a mass of this last year because every bloke, Australian gentleman, I should say, I had to explain to Natasha what a bogan was yesterday. I had to go to Wikipedia. It was all about telling her where it is acceptable to wear Ugg boots. Because her, oh, I'm going to get myself in a mess now, aren't I, with this conversation. Her grandmother visited Australia and brought back some Ugg boots, which she thought were very couth, and she now lives in them. So I was explaining to her the acceptable places to wear Ugg boots. Anyway, back to the blokes. We got in so much navy and black last year purely for people to make masks for the fellas. If I'm not careful, I'm going to have to get subtitles put on my Facebook page again. They would only wear navy or black, and people were just beside themselves that the fellas wouldn't wear anything else but plain navy and black. So we got a lot of this in, and it all went. And you know what, Barb, you are forgiven for being late. It's perfectly fine. It all went, and we've got rather attached to it. So I've got a lot more in. And this was going to be the blue that I put my blue geisha on I was talking about on Tuesday. But I found something else. Anyway, so look, it's really, really nice. American-made cotton. It's great. And, you know, when you come up with something like this, you don't always want to put it on black. So what I am doing, for anyone that, for people that are buying the dragonflies, just the fabric, I have popped in, I'm popping in for you, I'm going to risk going past this camera, I'm popping in for you a dragonfly little diagram, which Cass whipped out for me this morning. It's from the little imperial handbag pattern that I was talking about that we put in Live 6, but this is what she's done. So if you buy the fabric, the dragonfly fabric, I've just done this for you. See those weird little shapes? That's what I've done for you. So that you can do your own little dragonflies. Now this is also me proving a point with the Polyfuse from Tuesday. So I hope you all went off. And good morning, Donna. How are things in the UK today? Deb Rumble. Did he really ask which machine I'm using? Are you just making that up, or did he really ask? This is a 720. This beautiful 720 that I'm sitting in front of actually belongs to the gorgeous Christine Davies from San Remo, who is not in a hotspot because she's in Cairns. She got out. And so this is her machine, which I am, looking after for her. She said I could keep using it until she gets back. But we do have new 720s arriving. I'm looking at this. Oh wow, that's why. Actually, even haven't taken the protective film off the cover. There you go. It's still all on there. We do have new 720s arriving. Someone that may not have a major birthday coming up is getting one for her birthday. Not me. Oh, I'm glad you're all good, Donna. And yeah, 720. This is my machine. Look, I'm so lucky. I'm a dealer. This is the dream, girls. I'm living the dream. Kind of with the scarf. I'm living the dream. I'm a dealer, so I get to play with machines. But if I shut my dealership tomorrow, if I did, this is the machine that I would walk out the door with. If Rob wasn't looking, I would also walk out the door with a 475, because that's the one that I had here on Tuesday, because it's smaller, it's more portable, and that would then be the one that I would take with me when I go to workshops or we go away. And if we're in an Airbnb or an apartment and I can sneak it in the car, I would do that. And then if Rob further wasn't looking, when we packed up the dealership, I'd leave the building with the dream machine, which is the 790, which it's the top model that I sell, and it's this machine but with a bigger screen. It's twice the price of this one. Bigger screen with the embroidery module, but different size feed dogs. So for me, speed sewing 5.5 mil throat is the go. Deb, I'm trying to think who else is online at the moment. Some of my girls have got the 9 mil wide throat. Now that has a whole different plethora of respect and understanding, but you get wider stitches, so you can go out big decorative ones, out to 9 mil wide. So if you do a lot of seamstress work or heirloom quilting or crazy patchwork, a lot of decorative stuff, then you love, love, love the 9 mil with the dual feed for velveteens and things like that. But a dual feed's really necessary if you've got the wider feed dogs. But this is a 720. It's a beautiful thing. They're good looking machines, they're really good looking. This is, thanks for the excuse to talk about bananas. Deb, I did not pay Deb to ask me about the machine, I promise. All right, this is the diagram I'm giving you if you buy the fabric. 1, 2, which way around does it go? 3. They're the pieces that go on. So when we did the Polyfuse, I told you could go really, really small pieces. And I also said, please go and have a look. You're all asking about the machine. Yay. Please go and have research. Renaissance Revival, Maria Waters, Mariya Waters. She's the queen of Polyfuse, and the quilt, you are not going to believe it when you see it. Absolutely insane. And Maria is officially one of the judges for our Aussie Bag Challenge at our spring exhibition. If she likes your bag, if she loves your bag, you're going to win a $1,000 gift voucher for Chandler's Cottage. Oh, you can put it towards a machine, but Maria is judging that price. There you go. These are the 3 pieces. Look, polyfuse, polyfuse, polyfuse. 5 minutes maximum from drawing up, cutting out, gluing down. So please go back and have a look at Tuesday. So they have all been pre-shaped. Yes, there are a few bumps, but when I slip stitch these on, when I slip stitch these on, I will pull in. Here you go, there's your dragonfly. Oh, hang on, I'll turn him around this way. When you slip stitch him on, I will pull those in. My applique sampler girls will be all over that. Okay, so there's your little dragonfly. So I see I like him on the blue. I do like him on the blue. Yes, please watch, Sharon. You want the machine? Oh, look. I'm going to hold him up. Hang on, I'll pin. I've got a purple pin. That'll work. There we go. So you could do 1. You could do 2. You could do anything. Sharon Keys will be all over this. I would do 2 of those. And I would use them for my panel pocket tote flap with my navy. Okay? That's what, so see that? So if you think about it, you could have 2. You could have 1 flying that way, you could have 1 flying this way, and blanket, you know, you can do them by hand. So if you did them by hand, you'd slip stitch them on, and then what I'd love you to do is grab a purple thread or something and do the flying thing, you know, like we see it on the bee fabric. So you have the little swirly thing. It looks like they've buzzed around and hummed around, I should say, for a dragonfly. Have 1 going one way and 1 going the other way, here and here. That would be really good fun. If you've got beads, if you've got the bejeweler, dot, 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 French knots, colonial knots, whatever you like, down there. That would be really good fun. Now, the fabric that I used for this as well, I wanted to mention, you're all going to have it in your stash. If you don't have any in your stash, that's another email to info@chandlerscottage.com, because I can probably let you have a bit. This is going to be $15 a metre. This is going to be $18 a metre if you like some. I didn't even put it up because a lot of you have already stashed it. But I came through and I just fussy cut from the different bits. Good. I'm glad you will have a go at the dragonfly, Sharon. That is very important. So a couple of options for you. You can grab the bag pattern and it will have this in it. And also if you grab the, oh, look at them all together. Oh, and if you grab this, you're going to get the little dragonfly template. If you grab this, you're going to get navy at $15 a metre. If you grab the pattern, this is already in it. I think I've marked it down to $9, that pattern for you. It's quite cute. So, and we will kit up at some point as well, all right? They're iridescent, aren't they? Hey, no. Hey, no, all of you have already got everything that goes with this. Those amazing pre-cut teal packs that we did, even the kids packs, they all go with this for sure. Remember all the purple blue ones we did last week, and there's fabric on Live 5. There's heaps out there that go with that. I'm not making excuses anymore for you. There's plenty there. Right, put these aside. I do like that. I do like it, I do like it. So, we've got, there's so much still to go through, so just make another cuppa, come back. I'll still be here. Don't need that at the moment. So 2 more things I want to cover off with you. One is fussy cutting the actual border stripe and how to order the different combinations for the bag. And the other one is this little, what am I trying to say? The little cute coin Percy coaster thing that is Felicity's. So I just want to put a foot back on this machine, ready. And when we get to that, I might actually have to go and get some cotton thread, which is a bit embarrassing. Well, not embarrassing, it's just in the next room. I'll pull those out ready. So with the bag, as I said, it's up online now under Live 6, this one. So this is, if you order it online, this is the one that you're going to get. So you've got the orange fans, the cream and orange border, and the floral. So I'm going to show you the other combinations, and then I'm going to pre-cut one for you. Just to show you how to get started. Some people are a bit funny about fussy cutting, so some people are addicted to it. Carol, I didn't go anywhere. It must have been your internet. I didn't go anywhere. I'm going, why does Karen think I've got freezing cold hands? They're really fine because I haven't turned the heating off, but she meant my hands weren't moving. It happens. Okay, so do I need that? No. This is going to be a different combination. Now, we will get these all made. Couple of reasons. I want the new website to look amazing, and I half expect Natasha to run this as a project. So when I do things for Natasha, I like to at least be able to send her to the UK at least one sample done. Have you all noticed I can now talk underwater for an hour and a half, 2 hours? We're getting there. It's getting croaky now though. So if you would like this bag in a different combination, that's probably not the best place to take you. That is. This is going to be grey and pink. So if you would like, you just have to write grey, pink bag kit. And you're saying, Lisa, it's teal. No. When we refer to the kit and colours, I'm going to be referring to the main colours that we refer to in the border print. So we call this grey and pink because of those big pink waratahs here. So if you would like this kit in these colours, you just have to say bag kit, grey and pink, with your phone number. That's it. So this will be the flap. You know, this is going to be where the flap is. This is going to be where the orange is. And then we're going to use the ivory to, where have I got the other one? Yeah, the ivory is going to go in here. And we just put this one together as the best combination, we thought, with a lot of thought and effort for this combo. So that is going to be grey and pink. Then I'll line up the other one next to it. I've got the kitchen chairs all lined up with stuff on them. This is going to be, this is ivory and pink. So grey and pink, ivory and pink. Have I got them around the wrong way? Oh my goodness, I've got them around the wrong way. What a wally. Hang on. I should have known that. Emma's going to kill me. Can I go back? This, I'm so sorry. This is the grey and pink. This is grey and pink. That looks better. I thought, gee, we'd had too much coffee the other day. That's the grey and pink, okay? This goes where the orange fans is. That goes where my little floral is. Way better. Okay, right. This is ivory and pink. So this is going to be your flap. This is going to be your fans. That's better, and that's where the ivory goes. Sometimes I think, did we really know what we were doing? And it's me, I've got it round the wrong way. Now the one that I'm going to work with this afternoon though, just a fussy cut to show you, is this one. So this one is called black and orange. So that's your wow. Wow. Now look, don't get me wrong, I love all these. I love them and they're so pretty. And I haven't done anything here for a while, so I need to do this for me. Yeah, but look at that. So this is really exciting for me too, because we're starting to use the new coloured fans that we introduced this year. So my options before these, I could have used the bright orange or the green, but now I'm really happy. And this red came from wanting to match up this dark red that's in the Sturt Desert Pea and our Christmas bells. So I do, yeah, I'm happy. I'm just having a moment. So I'm just having a designer moment, and I'm a frustrated designer at the moment. It's been too long. I am back on the books. Paintbrushes out. When have I booked? Sunday, Monday. I actually have to book myself in. How hilarious! But we're back on the paints, and I'm itching. I can't wait. Can't wait. And Steve's in now. We're recoloring this week. Some border stripes and other stuff. But I need to draw. Okay, so this is going to be this. This obviously is this, and we're taking that out and putting the black in. So call this one black and orange if you would like one. It does make a statement, Pauline Boyke. Where did you come from? How are things in Blackbutt? Hope they're good. Hope they're good. And yeah, are we all planning on being around in 11 years to go to the Olympics? Are we? Are we? Are we? It might be a little bit of a backup for me actually, because I have a rally. I have a second cousin who is a national champion shot put and discus, and she's only 16, 17. So if we can't get to Birmingham next year, yeah, okay, no lockdown where you are, I knew that. If I can't get to Birmingham next year, I'm kind of like this, because I can festival of quilts and then stay for, do games and then stay for festival of quilts. If that doesn't come off, I'll have to wait, won't I, and see her in her home country, Brisbane. In Brisbane, Queensland. All right, put these away. So you're good? That's ivory and pink, grey and pink. I need more room. And black and orange. Right. Do we need the machine again? We do. Just chuff him over a bit more. So we need to fussy cut this. Excuse me. Oh. And we just get so scared, don't we? Fussy cut. Now, this is the one that Emma used. You can muck around and do what you like, but this is the one that Emma used. I'm not sure. She used the Grevillea. I'm not sure if she just did that because she could, or because, yeah, Cindy, you're the grey and pink girl, aren't you? Oh, she could have. Just. All right. If you want to use the Waratah, you can, but you will have that little bit across the top, or you can just make your front pocket a little bit shorter. Keep in mind when you do your flap though, let's sit that like that, you've got another pocket inside. So you've got the flap, there's a pocket under there. There's just pockets everywhere. So if you wanted to use the Waratah, and it's kind of okay. See, you're just going to have a little row of that up the top. It's going to be more striking on the black though. So just keep that in mind, and perhaps make sure you cut really nice and carefully, and make sure that you're conscious of where it sits when you're sewing this top seam as well, because this will get sewn in when you're sewing around the top rim. So you just want to be extra careful that you keep that super straight if you're going to use the Waratah and you've got that at the top of your flap, okay? Did that sound official enough for you? Like I knew what I was talking about. I was making it up as I went. Okay, so Emma used this bit, and I want to, I'm just going to be very, you're just going to go, no! Because I do this a lot. I just do that. Just chop like that. And that's just my thing, isn't it? Because it's mine. So the pocket, sorry, the front flap and the back pocket have been fussy cut from the main part of the border stripe. What I do, and it's quite funny because when I do this I have flashbacks to actually drawing it up, and you know exactly where we stopped with the gold dots and where this finished at the bottom, and it just went on and on and on. Can I just show you this? Just indulge me for a minute, please. do you know, I spent a week, there was a week where I stuffed around, and I will use that term loosely, stuffed around deciding how many and where those gold dots were going to go on this border stripe. Can you see them? How ridiculous. And do I put dots on the top of the waratahs as well? And do I put dots over here on the end of the leaves? And where do all the dots go? And do I have dots down here? So there's two I look back. I suppose the fine detail at the start's good, because then it's all there, and then I just forget about it, and it just adds to the overall look. But I think back now and I go, really? I held up a deadline for the gold dots. Okay, so we want 9 1/4. What I will do, if I know it's going to fit within here, I'll get my ruler and I'll just do a rough look and go, oh, okay, so that's only going to give me 8. So I really need to come up this way and save as much of the bottom as I can. So you've got a couple of options with this. You can really wing it and even pull in a little bit of your selvage, knowing that it's going to go into the seam allowance to get the maximum, the absolute maximum out. So I could come down to here, or I could come to here and know that it's all going to be black and it's going to come up 1/4 inch. I think I'll do that for today. That is a really wide selvage. Oh yeah, because the other side's got a thin one. So when I design as well, so I know I have a narrow one at one end, and then I get a big one at the other end, or on the other side of the bolt. Oh, hey, that's where we can reference that from. Sorry. Oh, sorry. We're looking at doing a couple more colours of flowering gum at the moment, because I've got to go back and print 2 of them, and everyone wants a black one, so I'm going to do a black flowering gum. We're actually taking the selvage off the Summer Palace Dragons for that, funnily enough. But everyone wants me to come back and do that. See that one and that one? Sage green, or in that one. Sage green one. Now I don't actually have a sage green reference in Under the Australian Sun, but look at that. I can pull those as a starter off there. Cool. Glad we all had this design meeting, everyone. That was great. Right, so we need 9 1/2. So if I lay that against 25 at that end, 16 1/2. Yeah, so there you go. That explains why on Emma's bag there is a little bit of the border stripe up the top of this little border here up the top. Don't forget, if you're fussy cutting this fabric as well, that you can use this independently. You've got enough room to come through and cut this probably just a little bit higher on that side, and you've got room to come down and cut in here and leave enough with this. So if you're sort of doing what I'm doing today, and you've got bits left over, this makes a really nice little, almost like a little ribbon. So you can come through and just fold down each side. What's a good example? Oh, the lanyards, like the lanyards that we've been making. You could come down and actually fold that under, create it into a piece of bias or a strip, and overlay it over another piece of sashing. Would be really cute as a trim on a different style of bag. One of the purses that we've been making to separate like a border between 2 different fabrics. So if you've got a bit of it left over, just have a think about how you can work it into something else rather than using it to tie up the tomatoes. Alright, so now we've got this 9 1/2 high, and I want that dead center. So half of 9 1/2 is 4 3/4. So I need to go 4 3/4. Cassandra, I wouldn't get too excited about the flowering gum yet, seeing you're going to have to help me with Steve colour it, and it's a nightmare. You know what colouring black is like. It's why I'm putting it off. I'm so putting it off. And I bet my fabric team in LA are going, no, not more black. Those dragons, were they not the biggest nightmare? God. That's why I want to move on and do new designs. You know how you girls, you put off the whips because you want to go and start something new? Yeah. Well, the same happens. The exact same thing happens with designing. Oh, should I finish those off? Now we're going to do a new one. Okay, I'm going to cut. Does that look like Emma's bag? Oh yeah, it does. 4 3/4 one way. So that little piece is going to need some love to use somewhere else. A little bit of paper piecing. You are all going to die when you see what I'm using to make Flick's little coaster. You're going to die. 1, okay, is that my 9.5? 5, it's getting late in the day, I'm going to make a mistake. There we go. So, no, that is not right. How did I, no. I cut it. Oh no, how did I do that? Excuse me. Right. Was I paying attention? Was I? No. Let's just do it again because I just need you to know. I know what it is. As you know, I'm switching over at the moment from Matilda's Own Rulers to Creative Grids, which are just fantastic. But every now and then, because of the orientation, because I'm left-handed is what it is, I go pear-shaped. Okay. Let's try that again. Do we all feel better now about making mistakes? Good. Let's just say I did it on purpose to make you all feel better about it. You'll put that. Do you see, I do actually use my board a lot. Oh, I know what I did. Okay, I'm going to cut there. All right, that's better. All right, so that is going to be my front flap. Obviously, I needed to give that an iron before I did it. There you go. So that's my front flap. So, just to show you the difference. There you go. Okay. Now that is quite big. See how big that is, and you're thinking it's too big. What happens is we've allowed for the fact it actually comes over from the back panel, and we've left enough so that there's that, you know, that bit of width at the top of the bag for it to come up and over. So actually, with that in mind, that little bit of cream is going to look so cool sitting there at the top of the bag. And then on the back panel, you're going to have another one. It's going to sit like that, and that's going to be the top rim of your pocket. Nice. Right, so that's that one. And then for, whoops, he's hit the ground. That's hit the ground. This has hit the ground. So for these pockets here that sit around the side, so this is actually all one piece. I'm doing this because I want to show you. You can customize where you divide this pocket. So what Em's done with this one, and I think we've put this is in the pattern, you can just have one divide here, or you can do parallel lines together when you overlay and attach this piece onto this side panel in the pattern to take what you want. So you might decide this is the side where you're going to keep your pen, your fabric pens, thin things, tailor's all and all of that are going to sit around here. So we can pull that one out. So to do these, they're still, fortunately, still the 9.5. So they're 9.5 by 4.5 high. And this is all in the instructions. So you don't think you have to write it down. It's all there for you. So what we have used in this case, or M did use in this case, is the smallest border, which actually sits at the fold on the fabric. And again, I've left you enough room in here so you can cut too. You've got plenty of room to cut in between. So it's just going to be a case of you finding where you want to cut to fit this all in. I want to be really sure that I just get the tip of my sturt piece in. So if I have a look at this, I'm going to make sure that I've just got 1/4 inch at the bottom, extra seam allowance, and then I can turn this around and really quickly line that up. My brain's now tuned into the Creative Grids ruler. Okay, put that there. There you go. So I'm just going to get the tips of these in up that way or that way, whichever way around I want to run it really. They can go either way. But take your time. Obviously don't talk a lot while you're doing it like I just did. And look, you know what, if you decide, oh, I don't want that bit, I'm going to switch it all around. I'm going to use other bits that we've been sent. I'm going to use the leftovers from cutting my big ones and add other bits of fabric to the sides of them. That's all entirely up to you. And please, please do have some fun. Try some different stuff. Don't have to do it exactly the same. You might have some other bits of Melba all under the Australian sun that all match in colour-wise. Just do it. Absolutely just do it. Please, please, please. Have a go. Right. Last bit of coffee. Then I'm going to surprise you. So, there are some projects that I've got coming up, including, you know, how I did Paper Doily Club 1 and never did 2. So 2, 3 and 4 are planned, but you know, I can do them in my, I always want to do them, of course I want to do them in Melba. Melba's the perfect fabric, as you know, to fussy cut because it's stylized, it's not botanical like under the Australian sun, so it's really easy to get that whole kaleidoscope thing happening, or fussy cutting. So of course I want to do things in Melba, but then you go, but I want to do it in something else as well. I don't want to just do it in mine or give people a different option. So the next paper pieced one that I'm going to do with Melba, I'm doing in cream and orange, not in this big print, in the tile print, the kaleidoscope one. We've only got the cream and orange in stock at the moment, as it so happens, and the next shipment leaves Japan next week. So we'll be all restocked on the tile print, which is great because we're out of all of them except one. There's only like 2 bolts of that left. So we're going to do that. I wanted something else. So I love, don't get me wrong, just because I don't use it doesn't mean I don't love Liberty. I love, love, love Liberty. And that's a personal thing for me. But also I'm conscious to stock at a lot of patchworkers that I want to pay $52 a metre for Liberty Lawn. And a lot of the things that I do besides paper piecing, Liberty Lawn is not suitable for. That's just a fact. But there's no reason why we can't have Liberty cotton. So we are. So I am going to, from the new website, not now, but we will be having some beautiful Liberty cottons in. I've ordered a few. What's a few? Probably 20. And the first 4 all go together. This is one of them. I'm going to use this to do this little coaster. I've got 4 that all go together that I'm going to use for the first English paper piecing project that I'm doing. Shall I hold it that way for you because it is directional? It's a little bit of England, isn't it? So it's just beautiful. It's just this rose pink down to a crimson with this gorgeous brown top, and I love it. So this is not about you, it's about me. But, you know, still a little bit of variety, and I am conscious I want to keep bringing new things to you, but I'll have new colors of my things out this year. But, you know, Japanese, the Imperial Garden range, the new stuff, Silk Road, which is going to take in some original stuff from my Indian range and Chinese and Russian and stuff. These take time, and they're not going to arrive tomorrow, so I'm conscious of filling that gap for you with other things. There are stunning things that I have ordered, but I don't have control over when they arrive. So I have control over what's available now from me and places like Liberty, and we are going to get some K-Fin as well. You know, so I've got control over that, but I don't have control over some things. So now I'm going to I'm going to take a little bit of this off because I'm very conscious it's all been allocated to what we're going to be doing. So Felicity, I think you all know the story because we did sell them all, and it all went to the Smiths family, and it was all wonderful. Felicity made all of these beautiful coasters last year, which can also be used as a coin purse. Just plug in the iron in. And we sold them for charity, but she made them all for the girls that were coming to our retreat, and it didn't happen. So we did it as a quick demo one day, and I'm going to do it again for you just now. Now, I mentioned I was going to do a hexagonal one. It's not as easy as I thought, but I'm still working on it, and that will go up on a Quilter's Life for the girls in the Quilter's Life Club. Welcome to our new members as well. Hey, do you know what, I don't know if you all know what it is. Do you all know what it is? That's a Quilter's Life. That is the website to get in. If you want the info, email me. If you don't want to write it down now. This is our $10 a month club where I put up a lot of the patterns for free that we do on the shows, special offers, all of that, blogs, recipes, the whole lot. It's all on there, and there's heaps on there now. You need to be in by the end of the month too, if you want to have the opportunity to buy one of the limited edition kits for my upcoming Block of the Month Geisha that will be running through through A Quilter's Life on Podia as part of your $10 a month membership. You've got to be in by the end of the month because it's very limited kits, and we'll be kicking that off next month. So I was going to wait until I had the whole quilts finished, and now I've gone, no, we're not. Nope, nope, nope. You can do it with me. We're all going to do it together. Okay, so I've given this a pretty good iron, so it's all nice and flat. One thing I will say, which I don't say about a lot of fabrics because I'm a bit of a fabric snob having my own, is the feel of, as it should be, the feel of the Liberty is gorgeous. And you know what? It is a really nice high thread count like mine. It's not, I'll warn you now, it's not 26 a metre. It's kind of not. It's, when we sell it by the metre, I think it comes in, I'll check, at $29.50. It ain't 26. But, you know, it's Liberty. What do you say? What do you say? Now, Felicity, if you're still watching, I can't remember how big they were. Let's go with 5. What you need to make this little purse. And again, Quilter's Life girls, I'm going to put up the hexagon version for you and the tissue version. What you need is 5 squares, all the same size. So I'm going to do a little 5-inch cut. Is that 5? 4-inch cut one. And then, do you know what? I tried to, hey, you know how we've got those little travel packs of tissues? Yeah, well, because we don't travel anywhere at the moment, I don't know where all mine are. I want to get one to measure them to get this right. I couldn't find it. Okay. So this is going to be my teeny weeny little one. Don't say it. I know what you're all thinking. Lisa, you made us all go and buy a small creative goods grid ruler to use for such occasions. Why are you not using it? Because it's in the other room. It's in the other room. Actually, I had more of those arrive. Oh, one of our High Tea Tuesdays that's starting first Tuesday in August when Emma's going to be with us. Oh my goodness, that's coming around quick, isn't it? Heavens! That's going to be not next week, the week after. That's 2 weeks. We're kicking off the first one with a little project with some hand sewing, but we are also running a lefty-righty rotary cutter demo. Now, this is so important to me, and being left-handed, you know how I do everything for you left-handed. It really worries me that I cannot demonstrate to you and teach you how to safely and effectively cut from your ruler and your mat right-handed. So Emma and I are going to do it together. Left-handed, left-handed, right-handed, together, side by side, so that you can watch. So gather up all your left-handed quilting mates, because that's going to be the one to watch. And if you want some great tips on rotary cutting, Emma is the rotary cutter police. If you ever leave your rotary cutter blade exposed when Emma's in the room, look out. So that is going to be the show where we talk about rotary cutting. We're going to talk about rulers a little bit, some of our smaller ones and how to work with them, plus your mats. I've ordered a heap of these because a lot of you have asked me about these. These are my favourite. These are the Japanese Kai rotary cutters that you don't have to put the blade up and down. When you push down, the blade becomes exposed. So you never have to worry about leaving your blade exposed and cutting yourself. So we'll have these, yeah. So that will be 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Not even that, I don't even know. Yeah, it will be, it'll be 2 weeks. Okay, so we've got 5 of these. Okay. We're going to set one aside. I all hope you've got a lot of sewing done while you've been watching. I really, really do. If I hear that anyone's just been sitting on the couch knocking off the corn chips that were in the cupboard for tomorrow night's taco or nacho night, look out. There will be trouble. We're going to take 4 of, oh, you're kidding me. Did I really do that? I can work with that. We're going to take 4 of them and fold them in half. So when you now have your little stash, or you grab those remnants packs that Mum did, this is just one little idea that you can use them. It's so simple. It is just so simple to do. Okay, so I've folded them in half. One goes there. You watching? 1, 2. Where's the shadow coming? Oh, I've got to get these lights. Okay. Ordered them from Amazon. One arrived the next morning on a Sunday. Another one arrived yesterday, and the other ones arrive in a week and a half, but all ordered on the same order. Did you see that? So one down, then that one over, then that one that way. Then pick up the first one and slip it underneath. Like that. so they all spin round. Now have I got that up the right way? Yeah, so what will happen when I sew right round, I turn it right side out, the right side of that square underneath will be exposed. So here's the thing just to think about. If you decide that you want the inside of your little coin purse to look nice too, you'll need a 1/6 so that you put it wrong sides together with this one at the back. So it looks nice on both sides. I'm not going to worry about that for now, but that's just a little tip. If you want it to look really nice when people peek inside, then you'll want to put a 6 one back to back with that one. I'm going to set that aside for a tick, because here's the thing. I think that we can make a tissue container. So, you know, nothing like doing it on the cuff, hey? If so these were 4-inch. So if I cut 2 more, flip your ruler and use it, Lisa Chandler. There we go. So that's going to give us this bit here, but I also want it to be longer. I want 6 inches at the back. You see what I'm doing? I'm trying to make a rectangle one. If I don't get it right now, I will get it right and show you Tuesday. So out of this bit, I'm very conscious I'm going to keep my leftover bits ready towards my project. That did not happen. And then this is going to be 14. So this time round, can't find my new pressing mat, so we're back to the old-fashioned ironing board with a towel. And it all works, doesn't it? So this time I've got 3 pieces, sorry, that are 4 by 6. One's going to be my base. This is going to work. We'll fold these 2. So I suppose this would be, as I said, this would be really nice to sit a little pack of tissues in for a friend for Christmas or a birthday. It could be a very stylish way, heaven forbid, to store your mask, your matching mask, in your bag. Let's give it a go. So we put the short two 4-inch ones are going to go either end. So I've got 2 4 inches. 6 by 4, that was a 4-inch square. This was a 6 by 4. Oh, it is going to work. This is the other 4 by 4. Lift this one up. There we go. Oh, I'm pleased that's worked, considering you're all watching. Okay. There we go. So when we sew all of this up, you're going to be able to slip in one of your little travel packs of tissues in there, and that's going to be a cute little present for a friend. Now, as I mentioned, I am working on a hexagon one. That's for my Quilters Life Club girls, because I promised them earlier in the year a little purse to pop their mirror in. They got a freebie thank you present early in the year for being a member. We've got some other member specials happening at the moment on our little trinket box combo that's just available for them, because the rest of the trinket boxes are for our exhibition. Now, Cass and I have just about finished, I bet she's working on it at the moment, just about finished the entries for our Aussie handbag challenge. throwing this together really quick, but I think with lockdown, it's the time to do it. So you can make a bag of any shape, size, form, techniques, as long as it's got textiles in it, Aussie theme, flowers, animals, food, landscape, famous people, poetry, anything that's Aussie. And you send it or drop it off to me. It's free to enter. You can enter as many times as you like. Just make sure everything's in a separate bag. Anything from a bag to hold your thimble, what did I write on that? To a surfboard bag that holds a surfboard. I said that because of Tim, our serviceman. But anything from that, any size you like. If you've entered into one of our competitions before, you can enter the same bag back in again. 3 prizes, 3 judges. Eileen Campbell is judging one, and it's not first, second or third. I've just allocated 3 different prizes to 3 different people. Eileen Campbell, who's got her beautiful spring floral collection exhibition on during the exhibition, which will all go online and you will see every day, and one day we're having someone sign it for everyone that's hearing impaired. We're doing the whole bit. It will be online every day. But if you can come. But either way, Eileen Campbell, you will see her beautiful collection, about 20 of her pieces that I've chosen. She's judging the Bennett combo machine. So there is a beautiful Bennett sewing machine, which is a secondary brand of Benina, that is valued at $3,500. That is a very, very nice machine and embroidery module altogether, $3,500, and I am sponsoring that. I have one model that has been sitting in a box and then sitting at Nathan, our state sales manager dealer, because he needed to borrow it one day. It has done no work ever. And that is the price, $3,500 worth. Maria Waters, you know, let's just roll out the VIPs. Maria's doing the $1,000 gift voucher. You can use it as down payment on a sewing machine. You can use it and just use it and use it and use it. $1,000 worth from me. Third prize is a $2,500 Bennett automatic looper thread feed Bennett overlocker. Now we're doing a lot more with overlockers as we roll the new stock of that one out, which there aren't any available in Australia at the moment, except for the prize one and the new Benina one. So Nathan's judging the overlocker, Maria's got the $1,000 gift voucher, and Eileen is doing the $3,500 sewing machine. They are very excited about judging. They will judge. I know how they'll judge. I don't think they're really going to judge on technique. They will judge by what they love, what they appreciate, what appeals to them. So it's not like they're going to pick apart all your stitches. They're not going to see if your seams are straight. They'll just go like that. That's a great idea. Love it. And say, yeah, at least give that person that big fat prize. So newsletter this weekend. Again, I've just got to get the boys. I've got to get Phil to put it up under free downloads for you on the old website. It'll still appear on the new one when it's up. I've pinned this one because I want to do this tissue one. If I do this one, then you'll be totally au fait with the square one. So what I'm going to do, because we've been here for so long, I'm going to let you all run off to the ladies' room and get a glass of water. Let the cat out, let the dog in, all of that, and I'll just get some cotton. What? Oh, knock the stand over. Jinjin, where are you? Jinjin, the girls have been with me for like 2 hours. Sweetheart. Okay, here we go. Right, so I'll just pop these in. Now the reason I had to switch over threads is because I still had the embroidery thread in and a polyester in the bobbin, actually really in red. It's just not going to work with what we're doing. I've grabbed a taupe or a caramelly colour. It's actually the colour that let me sit down, Lisa, that I have been using for the zips on our teal and cork makeup purses. And yeah, I had to have a word with our little zip supply going, I told the girls that we were going to have those yesterday. So I spoke to them just before about 1:30, and they were all leaving today. So finally we can get all of those back orders out for your teal ones. Some of you have got them. I know we had some zips, and you know what, I will be honest, if I could have nipped down to Spotlight and cleaned out the zip department just to save you waiting another day to get them, I would have, but can't get into Spotty, can I? Maybe we could have sent one of our girls in Brisbane, should have gone for us. Alright, enough joking about lockdowns. It's not funny. It's just not. Okay, so we're going to sew around. There we go. Right round the edge, which with whatever seam allowance that you want. 1/4 inch is standard, but if you've got your number 1 foot on, then you just want to line that up. And what do we need to do, everybody? We need to turn our feed dogs back on. After our fancy schmancy. Oh, I upset you, didn't I, darling? Sorry. After our fancy schmancy darning footwork. Now, did you see what I just did then? I ripped my thread out through the top, and that's a no. I'm in a hurry, but that is a no. And if Tim had seen that, thank goodness he is too busy today servicing machines, and he hasn't got me on in the background. But, and I would know if he did, I'd be able to see him. But you must, no lever. Straight on with the foot. Oh, what have I done? Hang on. I've obviously just... What have I done? Did I upset you, sweetheart? What have I done? Heavens. This is all operator error, you realise. No, Lord. Okay. I've got a piece stuck, girls. Hang on. You must not pull your thread up through if you have a digital tension machine, because it's like putting your foot on the... You know what? Because we've run so late, I think I've got a little bit of thread stuck in there. If I can't get it done, if I can't get it out and the machine really wants me to get it out, I will leave it and I will get it sewn up, and I will show you on Tuesday. You mustn't pull back up. It's like having your foot on the accelerator and on your brake at the same time, and you will upset the tension on your machine. So you have to be very, very careful. And I think, yeah. So what I did in starting to sew, yeah, without my feed dogs back on and being a bit of a show off. Have all of you seen inside the... There it is. Have all of you seen inside the race of a banana sewing machine? Let me show you. How cool is that? That's pretty cool, isn't it? That's really cool. And this is your big bobbin. Look at that. Big bobbin case. Big bobbin. And Lisa Chandler. Big mistake. Do as I say, not as I do. So I'm going to pop this go? No, what I'm going to do, because this is not my machine anymore technically. This is Christine's machine. I've got a little bit of fluff caught up in there, and I'm not going to bore you while... Just want to try and... Nathan's trick. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it of getting the thread out and mucking up her machine. Well, not mucking it up, but meaning that it needs to have a service before she picks it up when she gets back from Cairns. So I am going to fix this. I'm going to give it a good clean. I'm worried I've still got a bit of thread up there, and I want you to all know that I am very, very conscious about looking after my machine, because if I don't do it properly, I cannot expect all of the girls that I sell my machines to do the same. So I'm going to leave that race out. I'm going to get into my machine with my little, with my little fluff brush. You know, that's all because I was such a numbnut. Oh, that makes me cross. But I just need to get in there. It's easy enough to do, but I need to get my little fibre brush out of my studio and do a little bit of a clean and get a little bit more thread that's in there out. So I will do that now. So let's just go back to this. 6x4. Let me just pull this. 3 pieces that are 6x4. 2 pieces that are 4x4. And you're going to fold them all in half and then just pinwheel them around. And then you're going to sew all the way around. So you've got right sides all up, okay? That bit at the back is right side up too. Sew all the way around, and then literally going to be able to turn it right side out through the hole in the middle, and you're going to have a tissue box. Same with this one. Yeah, so Donna, the link for the bag, the link will go up as soon as it is up on the website for the bag challenge. So we'll have that up. It'll go up, I would say, over the weekend. Cass would have been working on it along with the new panel pocket tote pattern, and the gum leaf ones just finished. So she will have that. Her and I will have that done. It will go up over the weekend, and then I will come back and discuss it and show it to you again on Tuesday. And we'll also be putting up over the next few weeks some really cool pictures of some bags that were probably gave a lot of inspiration and things from previous Australian textile exhibition bag challenges that we've had over the last few years. This is the square one, so you need 5 squares the same size. This is a 4-inch. It just depends on how big you want to make them. So you can use this as a coaster, you can use it to put coins in, treasures for the kids. Would even make, if you made them up into blocks in a great advent calendar, because you could sneak in little treasures, little flat chocolates, or well, that's for us, the chocolate, isn't it? Never mind that. Stickers and stuff for the kids for your advent calendar. Again, with this one, you just sew all the way around and then turn it out, shape it and press it. Again, if you want the inside to look cool when you open it, when I turn this one all the way through, that's actually the side that I'm going to see inside my tissue container, tissue purse. So if I don't want that, I would actually cut another bit the same size and put it right sides together. So there's actually 2 bits for this back bit. And then when I do turn it through, I'm going to see the nice fabric inside. Or you might put a contrasting one. Get something different and put something different inside. Obviously, I've gone all swish wish and done it in Liberty, because I can, because I wanted to just give you a sneak peek. But scraps, they don't all have to be the same fabric. They could be all different fabrics. Make them nice and scrappy. If you've got some ombre in your stash, well, that'd be a lot of fun to run your ombres around as well. So please have a go. Yeah, with the hexagon one, I suppose with the hexagon one too, I do have, oh, the iron got me again. I do have an ulterior motive, because I've got in just some really nice basic hexagon templates, and I want to give you 3 or 4 different things to do with the hexagon template. So I'm going to do the little one for the girls and put that pattern on a Quilter's Life, and then I want to talk quilting patterns, dilly bags, and paper piecing, and a few other things with them. Maggie's here. Maggie is here. That's lovely. Hey, so thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. I know it's been a long one, but I'm probably guilty of knowing that we're all just sitting at home sewing anyway, so it was really nice to spend a lovely afternoon with you. I actually drank all my coffee, so that's how long it's been, because I'm a slow coffee drinker. And yeah, so I'm going to go off now and have a chat with Steve and get all this mail logged with our new system. It's not rocket science. It's no different to what you've had mail come delivered before. So it will come with that, you know, you've all ordered stuff online where it comes with the Australia Post sticker and you have to read it and you can see it's addressed to you with the barcode, within small letters who it's come from. Yeah, it's one of those stickers. And they're pretty boring looking stickers, and I kind of like it when you get a parcel from us handwritten. So we've got some really cool new satchels coming, so at least when you go to the box and you see a teal coloured satchel, you'll go, oh, it's from the girls at Chandler's Cottage. Well, anyway, that's the plan. So thank you very, very much for a lovely afternoon again, and we will, when will we see each other again? Are we all home on the weekend? Rob was pretty keen to pop in on, I don't know why, he's not the one in front of the camera, but he said, oh, are we going to do a show on the weekend? Because I think sometimes he likes to be here when it's on, and particularly at the moment with moving the studio and where everything is and the new lights and everything. So we might pop in on the weekend and say hi. I'll just see where I'm at with projects and everything. I might just pop in and say hi while I'm doing some hand sewing. I know I promised to do so last weekend, but I'm sorry, it didn't happen. But yeah, so if I am going to pop in on the weekend, I'll give you a couple of hours notice, and again, it doesn't matter if you miss it, it'll be there for you to watch on YouTube or later on when you're free. Okay, so you have a lovely evening. Have a nice Friday. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to book your online click and collect Coles and Woolies, because I'm sure they're really, really busy, or your home delivery. I don't think Dan Murphy's delivers anymore. I'm not sure. But don't forget, it's getting quite busy out there for click and collects and delivery, seriously, because everyone's at home. So plan ahead really well. If you're on your own, please look after yourself. Stay in touch with everyone. If you know someone that is on their own, again, please check in with them. I know last year when we were in lockdown, we had, was it one of those gorgeous guys from the health department, one of the doctors or something in Sydney, said check on people, and it was just all of a sudden Chandler's Cottage phones went nuts. Everyone was ringing and checking on us, which was really, really lovely. But please think of someone that's on their own, or an old couple who are on their own, and give them a call. I'd give you Mum and Dad's phone number, but she'd kill me. I'll ring her in a minute. But yeah, check in on everyone, look after yourselves, clean out the kitchen drawers, bedside tables, make the towel cupboard look beautiful, get your old perfumes that you're not using anymore or you haven't used because you haven't been traveling, and use them in your linen closets. Think about what you're going to make for Christmas presents. Get it all done while we are stuck at home, okay? And make the most of the time, all right? Now, thank you so much, and I'll see you Tuesday, if not sooner. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.